Smoking and grilling are always a big favorite. But you know what? A lot of times, even in the summertime, it's not that much fun to do smoking and grilling outdoors with the weather not cooperating, either too hot, too many bugs, whatever. So I would like to just show you some of my favorite tips and tricks for smoking and grilling indoors. First of all, I would like to show you quick smoking. Quick smoking is a really fun concept that the ancient Chinese developed due to the fact that they had such low fuel supply, and they started doing it, would you believe, with tea, like, you know, tea bags, except it was the loose tea. You must never put the paper in there, so it's the loose tea. Here we're using mesquite. And mesquite, of course, is a popular wood in the West, and it imparts a really nice smokiness because it has a very high temperature when it does start to ignite. So this will make it's an excellent choice for smoking material. And I have the pan already heating, and what I've done is I've just nestled down in here a trivet. Any kind of trivet will work. If you don't have a trivet, you could use spoons, like stainless steel spoons or whatever you have handy. Now I just placed the lid here, and I'm going to just set this for a moment until it gets hot and smoky. That'll take approximately about 4 minutes. Then in the meantime, I want to get the trout prepared. And today, since we have larger trout, I'm not going to follow exactly my recipe, which is for 4 small trout. And so you just have to adjust it to the size of the fish that you might have. For quick smoking, an awful lot of the flavor comes from whatever the smoking material is. So you don't really need a lot of marinades or added flavors of any kind. Here I'm just using fresh lime, just fresh lime circles, I guess you could call them. Just thinly sliced lime, so the flavor will kind of penetrate. And I'm just going to salt and pepper this side. And the other side we just previously done. And what I'm going to do is just wait for this. I can tell when it starts to smoke because you'll actually see a little bit of the smoke start coming from the outside. And you can peek a little bit, but it's counterproductive to peek very much. See, it's starting already. Can you believe that? See, I had the pan starting to heat. Actually, I think it's hot enough. So I'm just going to do this, and I want to move as fast as I can. So I'm just going to take the lid off and immediately place the trout in. And there you go. See, it's starting to smoke, so don't waste any time. Get the lid back on. Now, for smoking, you can smoke almost any kind of dense fleshed fish, chicken, pork, beef, vegetables. I'm just going to place it in a preheated 425-degree oven. And voila! It now takes about, it'll vary according to the size of the fish, but I'm going to say it'll take about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe up to 25, which is about, it's probably about 4 times faster than if you were smoking in a conventional smoker where you had the wood chips and the water and all that. And that brings up another point. Everything that you quick smoke is so juicy because what happens is the juices are really sealed in as it cooks. So because you put it in this very intense heat. So I think you'll really like it. Try it sometime, and you can see it's very easy. For a salsa for the seasonings to serve with the fish, I have 2 favorite ones. I have what I call a cilantro salsa, which is prepared from, instead of tomatoes, which we so frequently use, we use the parched and peeled, chopped red bell pepper and onion, chopped onion, equal parts of each of those. And amazingly, we use equal parts of the cilantro. And for the cilantro, we've kept it really moist. And at the very last second, I'm just going to give it a hack. That's all I want to cut it, because if I were to cut it more, it would become, it would sort of get a brown color to it, and it would start to weep, and then it starts to not have a good smell. So a fresh garlic, some lime juice, some olive oil. The oil sort of adds a nice quality to it because it tends to pull the flavors and act as kind of transportation system for the flavors among the ingredients in the salsa. I think this is such a pretty one, and that fresh cilantro is just fabulous with the fish. And it's really good with a lot of other things. Then the other one I like to make is it's a creamy cilantro, but it all has the lime and it has lime zest, and the base isn't cream, it's yogurt. So just take and borrow the spoon here, and we'll just use the fresh yogurt, fresh squeezed lime juice, the green chili that's parched and peeled. It could be canned, fresh, or frozen. And we're going to do a little more cilantro. But this is the lime zest. And the lime zest is made by just pulling off the bare outside portion of the lime and then giving it a chop or two. And we want to just take the cilantro and just kind of give it like 2 hacks. And place it in there. I like this one because it's very refreshing and soothing. Even though it has the chilies, the lime, and the yogurt, it's just a wonderful cooling salsa, which is very good on the fish too. So one's a little spicier and a little more pungent, and this one's more soothing. So you have soothing and more pungent. And now let's take a peek and see if it's really done. Oh, it is. Look at those. And so now the next challenge, honestly, is getting them out of the pot. And I think this will work fine. I always like to serve it with the head on. This little guy, the noses kind of had a tendency to stick. There we go. This one had a tendency to stick a little. And so now what we're going to do is just peel the skin off, and it should peel incredibly easily. It's always best to start right by the head and just peel it back. And I generally don't peel both sides because in so doing, a lot of times I will kind of destroy the integrity of the fish. So all I'm doing is I'm just peeling the top, and I'm going to cut off the tail. And it is so moist. I'm just going to pull any skin that wants to come. And smoked trout like this is just an outrageous appetizer. You can serve it as a main course, of course, with the salsas. I've usually liked it for like a stand-up appetizer before I do a barbecue. And I try to keep his head on. It's not always easy for a fish to keep its head on. So here we go. And I'm just going to move this with 2 spatulas. You can see how tender this fish is. It's really tender. So to kind of disguise the tenderness, or disguise that being sort of broken, what we can do is we'll just place a little piece of lime there, and we'll take some lime and just place kind of like here. And I don't think anyone likes to look at a dead fish eye, so we'll place this here. And I think that's enough. If you'd like to give people an idea of what they're supposed to eat it with, you could kind of tuck the salsa. You could just sort of give a tuck of each kind on the 2 sides. And I wouldn't worry too much if it's if the flesh is just not totally perfect. If we would have slightly undercooked it, the flesh would have perhaps stuck together. But this way we know it's really done and tender and moist and wonderful.